Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog. Today we're going to do about 5.5 miles. Excuse me. Kind of a chilly day today, of sorts. Definitely dressed a little warmer today. So there's a little bit of a breeze today. It's noticeably cooler. I'll get warmed up here walking in a few minutes. So things are moving rather quickly with regard to the election that's coming up. It's getting to be pretty good, actually. If you're a Trump supporter, it's really looking good. Kamala is starting a downward spiral. And I had stated that on my walks, that I felt that was going to happen just because she's not a good candidate. If she was a good candidate and the polls were close, that would be different, but she just is not a good candidate. Can you imagine having a big media machine like that behind you and you're still not doing well? Oh, look at that. That's cute. Little skeleton hands coming out of the ground. Looks like they light up at night or something. They're stuck in the ground. That's cute. They look like zombies coming out of the ground. That's different. So Trump did a town hall in Pennsylvania last night. I watched, and it's funny trying to watch the left try to turn that into a Donald Trump was incoherent and suffering from dementia, when the truth of the matter is 2 people in the audience had medical emergencies. And I think one of the women was just really, I think she had a massive coronary or something. Because it looked to me like, they didn't put it on camera, but it looked to me like something really bad was happening just by Trump's reaction. And Kristi Noem, that was there also, that something bad had happened. There was a long delay from that, and the whole mood of the town hall changed after that. So I think somebody died at the event, or close to it. It was maybe brought back with CPR or something. But regardless, the media always has to do what they want to do and use it as an opportunity where people that didn't watch it, they weren't told that there was any medical emergencies. And MSNBC reported it as Donald Trump acting bizarrely. They didn't report the medical emergencies either. Trump decided to just have music played and people could enjoy their evening because they waited a long time to get in, and they drove a long way, some of them. And to have it end early like that because 2 people had medical emergencies, he just felt it was better to at least have something. So they played positive music and had a nice gathering. But apparently the media tries to spin it into something else because Kamala is doing so terribly. And I just thought it was unfair. A new poll came out that only 31% of voters, or 31% of the country, I should say, trust the media. So most people do not, which is good. And so anyway, they were doing those freaking shenanigans again. Which they always do, and they always end up looking bad at the end of the day because of it. So. Hi. So the media basically just sucks like they always do. But the truth always comes out, and they always end up looking stupid. Like they did. I really hope you got to catch J.D. Vance exchange with Martha Raddatz on ABC. He schooled her pretty good, which was nice. Looks like school is getting out across the street here. We're going to go on our walk. Once we get past the school here, I'll flip the camera around. As we get this peanuts looking autumn tree here. That's what it reminds me of. Same kind of scene you see in the Peanuts comic strips. Some Trump voters here. So Trump is doing really good at this point. He's winning in the battleground states, most of them, almost all of them actually. And one of them that they say he's not winning in, I'd arguably say that he was. And I'm sure it hurt NBC News, who always has dishonest polling. They finally said that Trump and Kamala are tied for Michigan, which means Trump is ahead in Michigan. That's what that means. Because NBC is notoriously biased towards Kamala by 5 points. So if they're saying they're tied in Michigan, Trump's actually ahead by 5 points. Which means he's probably winning Wisconsin also. So they're not going to be able to cheat enough for that, I guess is my point. Too big to rig, as it is right now. I still say they're going to try to find some kind of October surprise against Trump. I'm sure they are feverishly searching for something. waiting for somebody to come forward with something. And remember that Hollywood Access and that show he did with You're Fired. There are a lot of outtakes from that show, which are supposedly under lock and key with an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and that was supposed to expire, that NDA. And if there's anything that they're going to use, it's probably going to come out between now and the election as an October surprise, so be ready for that. And I do believe the rumor was that it was video of Trump making jokes and using the N-word, jokingly, presumably. Trump is getting a lot of the black vote right now. And they just had Obama begging for black men to vote for Kamala. So 2 + 2 says that if they have anything they can use against Trump to get blacks to not vote for him, they're going to use it. So I'm just giving you the heads up about that. Nobody knows if there is actually a tape of that. Just Tom Arnold 2-3 years ago on Twitter, and he actually made a lot of noise about that in 2020 before that election. Nobody ever produced anything. Nobody ever corroborated what he was saying. I'm just saying if it's going to come out, it's going to come out now. Like when they used the Hollywood Access pussy grabbing recording. So, just letting you know what's going on. So, hi everybody. We'll flip this around today. I'm wearing my sweats with leggings underneath for warmth. Much more comfortable than the cargo pants. I got a nice big pocket on the front of my hoodie for my stuff. So we definitely have things that could pop up, a couple of things. But right now, Trump is doing very well. Nothing they're using is sticking. So we'll just hope and pray for the best, folks. I was looking at the Electoral College map last night. I'm looking at it and it's like, how does Trump lose this? Really? I mean, Kamala Harris has to win Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Or if she loses one of those, she has to steal North Carolina or Georgia. She has to, or else she loses. So basically, she has to win 3 of those big states. Absolutely has to, or she loses. Trump just has to win 1, because he's getting North Carolina and Georgia, presumably. So Kamala has to have Nevada, she has to have Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Trump just has to have 1 of those. Not with Nevada, but he can afford to lose Nevada, because I guess she's leading there by a point or so, according to the polls. See, that's the key thing there, according to what the polls say. Hi, Chief. Pretty good. There we go. That's a cool hat. We got another Trump voter here. Yeah. I voted last week. Yep. A nice flag. I got a couple at my place too.
Yeah. We gotta get some signs. I can start the Auburn Mall there.
Looking good this year. Yeah, it's the NRCC battle station, they call it.
Yeah.
They got Trump signs, flags, all kinds of stuff.
At the
Auburn Mall, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta get over there.
It's their hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. if they have people available to work those hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I walked right in and people were there, and I left with a bunch of signs.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
yeah.
yep. Seeing a lot more Trump signs this year.
I had a Trump Vance t-shirt.
Yeah.
Had I done that at 16, I probably would have gone to 10. If there wasn't 50 people that came up to me and said, nice shirt,
Yep.
there wasn't one. There was nobody. I had
Things are.
anything negative.
Yep.
All, I mean, all sorts of people that come by and grab my hand.
There's been a lot of different think this year. I saw a video online yesterday at LAX in Los Angeles Airport.
Yeah.
There's a store in there with a whole Trump clothing section.
Well, you actually did a rally in California.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
They're like, oh, why is he going there? He's not going to win California. Well, he's going to get some votes out of it.
Well, I was, looking at the Electoral College map last night, and Kamala has to win Minnesota, which she probably will. She has to win Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. She has to win all of those.
Yeah.
Trump, if he gets North Carolina and Georgia, he just has to win one. He can still win if he loses Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it definitely is favoring him a lot.
Yeah, with all the talk with the fracking and all that shit they do in there.
Yeah, he should win Pennsylvania, and he should win Wisconsin, and he might even win Michigan too.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be awesome to see on election night, something like, I've been kind of like hoping he steals Virginia. Unlikely, but if he steals Virginia, he'll win on election night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
While they're still cheating and rigging in Pennsylvania.
I'll be watching CNN because I want to see them try.
Oh yeah. First time he won in 2016, I was watching MSNBC.
Yeah.
It was the best thing I ever saw. It was so great. Well, all right, man.
Nice talking to you.
Have a good one. You too. So there we go with another neighbor voting for Trump. Interesting conversation. So swing this back around. So like he was saying, there's a lot of people waking up, which is really nice. We got another Trump flag here. Very nice. And, so anyway, a lot of people are waking up. It's going to be fun, folks. This is going to be fun. I'm here to spread positivity. Positivity. I realize fully that Republicans traditionally will snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. I understand. A lot of people might feel like that. But so far, so good, all right? Trump is kind of his own party. He's not really, he is the Republican Party right now, and the establishment hates him for it. So we'll let that big sucker go by. Big truck with a heavy, wide load on it. So Trump's town hall last night, I thought that was really gracious and good of him to realize that, what he's there to do isn't as important as two people almost dying, or one of them did, which we don't know yet. And he did the right thing by opting to play music. It's just funny watching MSNBC trying to paint him as an unhinged, insane lunatic. where he's there for a town hall and he ends up playing music and dancing all night with the people. These people are a piece of work, man. And if two people had gotten sick like they did, and he continued on and did a regular town hall, they would criticize him for that too. Cold and heartless. Things are more important than him being president. He should have stopped doing the town hall. So basically you can't win with these people. So don't even try. Now today we're going to go see how the countryside is doing with regard to leaf turning. We are now getting into the meat of the order, October 15th today. There's only about 2 weeks left of decent foliage before the trees start going naked. The trees will be naked in November. I got a little bit of a headache today. I've had one for a couple of days. So I didn't walk yesterday because of that. Plus it was raining again and I had a headache. So I have my limits like everybody else. But today I'm going to walk the headache out of my head. It's a tension headache from a past injury that I am bothered with sometimes. I know exactly when I did it. I was 10 years old. We were playing King of the Mountain. And I ran up the mountain on a snowbank, dove to tackle somebody, they moved, I missed, went over the snowbank, and hit my head square on a fence post. A steel fence post. And it shortened my neck, you know what I mean? And I've had a problem with my neck joint ever since, where sometimes I'll turn my head and my neck will crack, and then I'll have a nerve pinch that will last sometimes a week, or I get headaches, or both. So right now I got this tension on my left side and the muscle in my jaw, which comes from that, and it'll let go. I'll actually feel something pop and crack, and then I'll get a bad headache, and then I'll be good for a few months. It's been like that my whole life, so I don't know if that's different for other people or not, but anyways, I'm gonna flip this around. We've got an absolutely beautiful day today, as you can see. When the sun is out, it feels nice and warm. Some of these poles here are gone from the last time, so they must be erecting those. Looks like a couple of them were put in right there. I wanted to see what they were doing anyway. Also wanted to give you guys an update. The Trump Fight 1911 shipped. Should have it for this weekend. It'll be a close call, but should be able to get some video from range day for it. I'm going to do kind of an unboxing video, and that should be really nice. I'll upload that on the channel when it's finished. I want to have a shooting video with it. So it will be after this weekend, maybe Sunday night. So this is what they were doing with those corrugated metal tubes like they use for sewers. They buried those in the ground and buried the outside. It does not look like they are cemented in there. Maybe they're going to pour concrete on top of that. That's why they left it like that, maybe. I doubt they're going to leave it just like that, because that's going to pool up with water and erode. So they're probably going to pour cement on that, I'm guessing. But we'll see what they do. It goes all the way up, holding up the wires. 2 sets here. Not sure why they're doing that. We did have a problem here when we had a couple storms last winter. 1/3 of the state, or a quarter of the state, out of 1.4 million people, 300 something thousand customers lost power. So obviously that's pretty much everybody in the state at one point lost power, or close to it, because that was the amount of customers, not the amount of people that lost power. There's 1.4 million people, so you get 5 people in the same house. That's one customer that lost power for 5 people, if that makes sense. So it was a big problem, and that's when they put all this in here so they could work on this stuff. Hi, babies. Let's go say hi to the pigs. Hi. Hi, babies. They smell better today. I either got a favorable wind shift or somebody cleaned up around there a little bit. Don't look too bad. Look at that. Might even look nice zoomed far away like this. Alright. Come down here and take a look at this. Head on this way. Take a peek while I'm down here to see what the hell's down here. Probably nothing. No, nothing. There's some kind of ravine, gully down there. Not a big deal. So, we're going to continue on our journey. Make sure my app is recording what it's supposed to. So anyway, like I was saying, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with the election, but it's looking damn good for Trump. That I do know. Anyway, what I was getting to before we came in here was I'm looking at the Electoral College map, and I don't see how Trump loses. The polls would all have to be extremely wrong against him, not in his favor. And we've never seen that with him. They're always leaning towards the Democrat heavily. Some more than others. Now I saw a CBS poll that said Trump was leading by 5 points in Georgia. So nobody else was saying that. The other thing I noticed was Saturday Night Live, which I don't watch. They disparaged. Bye, babies. Bye. Bye, piggies. We'll see you some other day. They were disparaging Kamala, making fun of her. And not in a good way. So it's very interesting to watch what's going on. Like I was talking about that guy that was in his garden up the road there. You know, LAX and Los Angeles airport. And they got a merchandise store there that's filled with Trump stuff. Mega hats, and you're in Los Angeles. So there's obviously a market for it that I've not seen before. And I don't think you have either. So there's something big going on. And I think a lot of these polling companies are out of touch. They're not polling everybody like they should be. I think they have their core group of go-tos that they always use. Plus, like I've said, you know, they're a company that makes polling. So if I'm NBC News and I'm biased and I'm promoting Kamala Harris, I don't want to poll from a company that's going to say that she's losing. Even if she really is, I mean, they don't want to hear that. So they want polling that agrees with the narrative they're trying to sell to the public. And these people do polling for money. So it's a supply and demand thing where, oh, we get a mattress and box spring on the side of the road. Don't know why. Obviously somebody threw that out, but they're not going to pick that up. So I have no idea why that's there. It's not the kind of thing they'll pick up on trash day. They only do that on spring cleanup. So that car was going by way too fast. But I anticipated that and got off the road. So they pick up stuff like mattresses and box springs on spring cleanup week. Last time I checked, we're not in the spring, so anyway, something big's going down. I think we're, again, I don't want to get too high. I really don't. There's still 3 weeks, 3 weekends. So we got 3 more weekend news cycles to get through. If there is a October surprise for Trump, it's probably going to come this weekend coming up, and vice versa. If there's one against Kamala, there will as well, probably this weekend. The weekend before the election would be a big one too, because then people don't have time to issue statements and prove what they're saying to be true. So the last weekend before the election will probably be the one where there will be an anonymous source, anti-Trump. It'll be something salacious that's made up, and it won't be proven wrong until after the election. They don't care about that. All they care about is to the election, you know? So If we had a responsible media, which we don't, it wouldn't get reported. But we know how they are. So now, Kamala Harris just got caught plagiarizing large sections in her book. Basically copied and pasted it from Wikipedia, some of it. And so people are having a big laugh over that today. Rightfully so. She's basically a liar. Everything about her is fake, phony, and so she plagiarized the criminal legal stuff that she was talking about and made it like it was her own, and it wasn't. So people are having fun with that today, including Trump Jr. The other thing that happened is an apartment manager in Aurora, Colorado, got beaten up by that Venezuelan gang because the Venezuelan gang was there to collect 50-50 on the rent. They threatened and beat up this apartment manager if he did not comply with forking over 50% of the rents to the gang. So that made the news yesterday too. So none of this is helping Kamala at all, obviously. And keep in mind, we still have a lot of people talking about the alleged improper Tim Walz sexual relations with a teenage boy. Or should I say a teenager. A lot of people are assuming it's going to be a teenage boy, but it might be a teenage girl. Regardless, it is rumored, rumored, not substantiated in fact, so I'm not spreading misinformation that was the reason why he had to step down from teaching high school. And so I'm still waiting for corroboration on that. If it's true, it'll come out very quickly. And if it is true, the Kamala campaign is finished. Put a nail in the cover, the election's over. So we'll see what comes of that. And we'll see how the media tries to spin that. Anyway, so we got this small little oak over here that fell over for some reason. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it got hit by a moose. Eyebrows are getting a little sweaty today. Now once you get your heart rate up walking, you start warming up pretty good even when you start out and you're chilly. So I go up here out of the traffic. Somebody pedaling their rear end up the hill. I'll give them some space. Right. So I have not checked in on Uncle Trump's social media today on Truth Social to see what he had to say about the town hall last night. I'm sure he had some kind of comment about it. And you know, it's just a shame that the media has to do what they're doing. Really is. They're embarrassing themselves at this point. I watched a clip. Okay, I won't watch them, but I watched a clip of Mika and Joe Scarborough in the Morning Joe clip from that show. And they are begging men to vote for Kamala. She is sorely lacking in the male vote. They're going to vote for Trump. So, you had Obama campaigning, trying to tell people, black men, he was telling black men to vote for Kamala. You know, basically the same shtick they always do. You know, the Democrat Party owns black people, the Trump sign, and so they feel like they own that minority and they can tell them what to do. If you don't vote for Kamala, you're not really black. That kind of thing. Joe Biden said that in 2020. Like Joe Biden knows anything about being black other than lying about, you know, walking across a bridge during a certain protest. There was one he lied about. I don't remember which one it was, but Joe likes to tell stories. So anyway, I like telling stories too. The one after Trump wins this year is going to be the best one I'm going to tell for the rest of my life. I remember this guy, they threw everything at him, tried to lock him up, tried to bankrupt him. Great American patriot. They set out to destroy him because they hate America and everything it stands for. And they failed. He brought back the car industry. He brought back our industries and our wealth. And he stopped the insanity. That's the story I want to tell. So bad I can taste it. And we need to make it happen. People need to get out and vote. And you need to make your vote count. You need to drag people with you. It's estimated that this year, 52% of Americans are going to vote early. It's the biggest number ever. And here's some really good news. You ready for this? I almost fell off my chair. Republicans in Pennsylvania right now are outperforming Democrats with early voting. Yep, you heard that right. For the first time, Republicans are outvoting Democrats early. Democrats always promote voting early. So the other thing that is important is the request for absentee ballots by Democrats is down by a lot. There's a lot of people not interested in absentee ballots by Democrats this year compared to 2020. And for Republicans, it's right up there. These are all really good things, really good things. So I'm very excited. And again, I don't want to get too high, okay? We cannot get too high and overconfident because the disappointment will be a crushing. You always got to feel like you're losing. So I'll flip this around because we have nice views today. That's a nice view, isn't it? So is this one. So anyway, we can't get too confident. We can't get too high. We have to keep it real. A lot could go wrong between now and voting day. we could very well fall victim to that. The DHS issued a warning back in July that some foreign entities would try to hack our elections and interfere in our elections. And I think they put that out there because maybe if they feel like Trump is really going to win, our own government may do something to screw up the election with hacking. Now, here's the good news about voting early. All right. When you vote early, even in a state with electronic voting machines, okay, even in those states, absentee ballots are paper ballots, okay? And even if the ballots are not hand counted, like Georgia has to count the ballots by hand. They passed that. A lot of people are happy with that, but unfortunately that's going to take a lot longer to count the votes. A lot longer. And the other reason why I don't support counting ballots by hand is because elections in Maine have used counting machines since the late 70s, early 80s. They've been accurate. Every recount done here has always been maybe off by 0.0001%. It basically doesn't change the outcome. And it's more accurate than people are. People counting by hand, you're expecting them to open the ballot, for one thing. Number two, you're trusting this person to verify the signature. You're trusting this person to verify that the person voted properly and checked all the boxes properly. You're also counting on these people, who may be a Democrat that opens the envelope, to say, oh look, we're getting way too many people voting for Trump. Let's find something wrong with this ballot and we'll put it in the recount pile, or, you know, maybe somebody up the chain will toss it. So on some kind of technicality, like there's a little white spot in the oval they had to color in. Even though clearly they were voting for Trump, they left a little white spot in the dot open, not colored in quite enough, and they're going to disqualify it. So counting machines don't do that. You open the ballots and you run the ballots through the machine. Now, the problem they had in Georgia, and the reason why they went to hand counting, is that people were taking stacks of the same ballots they already ran once and running them again, because they don't have barcodes on the ballots themselves. There's no way to verify that you don't pass the same ballot 3,000 times. All you have is supervisors there walking around watching what people are doing, and they're probably not going to do anything to stop people from doing that, because usually the people that volunteer at elections are Democrats. They hate Trump. So there's a lot of room to cheat. And the beautiful thing about our democratic process in this republic, we are a republic, by the way, not a democracy, is that the people are involved with elections. You can sign up. If I lived in Pennsylvania, where the voting really mattered the most, I would be working in a poll place. Everybody gets an application emailed to them at some point, or you can go to a website and sign up. Some people are paid, some people are not, but you can be involved with the process. Now, that's not to say that all the Democrats that volunteer are dishonest. They're not. But we have seen some people that were. And I counted about a dozen Democrats that cheated in 2020 and were prosecuted and found guilty, and they were sentenced by Democrat judges. So the entire system is not corrupt, okay? That's why I say, even if they cheat in this election, unless it is extremely, extremely close, which I don't anticipate it's going to be, they can't cheat enough to win. So let's say they cheat in Pennsylvania and they succeed in stealing that for Kamala. Well, Trump could very well win Wisconsin. Biden barely won Wisconsin by 0.03%. So it was very close. And they cheated in Wisconsin, Milwaukee specifically, in the middle of the night. So that was a really close election, though. So if Trump leads by enough, they just simply don't have enough time to realize how many votes they need. They would have to have a whole shitload of votes already made, ready to go right now. Which would not be easy for them to do. Because these envelopes are barcoded, signed, at least they are in Maine. And you do have signatures you have to check out. So they scrambled in a hurry and made up a bunch of absentee ballots on election day. I'm convinced of that in 2020, and I do believe they cheated. Just enough because it was a really close election. In a more wide open election, mathematically, you can't cheat enough to make up enough votes. It's, 1%, 1.5%. You're talking so many damn votes. You just can't make up that many in that short a period of time. So, and I think Georgia also changed their law where the drop-off boxes in Georgia will be monitored by video. I think it was Georgia. Might have been another state. And so we did get some laws passed in certain states where it counts. That'll matter. I fully expect Trump to win North Carolina. And now look at this corner here. We get Harris, we get Demi, the Republican, Jared Golden, and we get Austin Terrio, the Republican. So we have a equal distribution of parties, just no Trump signs. So that's kind of interesting. It's like no Trump signs. As soon as you stick a Trump sign out there, somebody's going to stop and vandalize it. Isn't that pathetic? So anyway, we got our signs out here in the neighborhood. These are signs that weren't supposed to be on public property. So obviously they must have gotten permission because the city said they were going to be cracking down on that, and we have Democrat and Republican signs on it. So I guess they've decided that's public property, not public property. So I guess what I'm getting at, folks, is I feel really good. I feel really good about this election. And I'm trying not to feel really good about it, because it's always better to go into it expecting you're going to lose and then winning than expecting to win and you don't. As we just hit 3 miles on this walk. So I've taken 2 days off from walking in the past 7, which is okay. Still getting my miles in and my exercise. Last night I had a nice snack while I was watching the Trump town hall. I cooked up some potatoes from scratch. Put some cooking oil on it. Healthy cooking oil. None of this soy crap and none of this vegetable hydrogenated stuff that's horrible for you. two oils that are good to cook with. The best one is olive oil, and another one is canola oil. Canola oil is good, healthy, doesn't have any saturated fats, and it's not processed. It's actually quite good. Olive oil tastes better, but I use both. Anyway, I chopped up some potatoes and threw them in a skillet with some oil, put some seasoning on it, and I chopped up a big giant yellow onion, cooked that in there too. And that was my snack with some barbecue sauce on it. You can use ketchup if you want to, but I was in the mood for hot and spicy barbecue sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's. I really love Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce because you read the ingredients and everything in it is real. There's no things you can't pronounce. It also has real sugar. There's no corn syrup. Real spices and ingredients. And it tastes really good. And when you're barbecuing and you butter up your chicken breast with that, it cooks on there into a nice kind of like candy-like coating. It's perfect every time. Sweet Baby Ray's. Real food that you can buy right on the shelf. I know it's a shocker. And if you get one of those Kraft barbecue sauces and you dip your finger in there and then you taste it, and then you taste Sweet Baby Ray's, it's like night and day. The Kraft one is processed, it's all garbage. So, just passing on my tip to you. It's good for you. Costs a little bit more than Kraft, but you get a lot more. So while I realize the owner of the Patriots probably doesn't need more money than he has already, I don't know who owns Sweet Baby Ray's. But it is a beautiful day today. I think so anyways. So I will swap the camera around up ahead somewhere. Had a little bit of leftover potatoes and onions with some rice before going on the walk, or a little bit of corn. No meats. No meats. I don't eat that much meat anymore. A little bit. Gotta have your protein and stuff. I did just get some turkey, and I got some beef. And I'm all set. That's about as extravagant as I'll get. Sometimes I'll get some chicken. I love chicken. Chickens. The sun goes away, it cools off quick. So, There's a couple other things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to remember to talk about. And now I'm like, what the heck was that? It'll come to me. Oh yes, voting. A Georgia judge. They had a case in Georgia because of a new Republican law that was filed, signed into law previously. The Democrats waited till the last minute and filed an injunction. That had to do with counting ballots on the day of the election. And Republicans had said they would, in their bill, that they would count the ballots on the day of the election. And the law stipulated that they had to announce what the vote total was. Now, the Democrats were like, well, what if there are bad ballots? What if there are ballots that don't count? Because Republicans wanted to remove these ballots and agree on what was removed before the election could be certified. The Democrats sued to have the election certification tally be given as soon as votes were done counting, even if ballots were found to be questionable, to still be counted, and the election still to be certified, and then they could deal with the mistakes after the election. We know what that means. We means that they want the bad ballots to count and for Republicans to not have anything to do with it and to not say you can't do that legally. So a Georgia judge ruled in favor of the Democrats. So that's the latest on that. What does that mean for Georgia? Well, it means some of the ballots that are deemed questionable will be counted as valid ballots or removed. The election will be certified regardless, is what it means. So I don't know what that means as far as helping the Democrats win or not, but they wanted this awfully bad and sued for it, and they got their way from a friendly judge. So I don't know if that's going to be appealed, but we have the election coming up in 3 weeks. There's really not any time for this, you know. Experts don't seem to think it's going to impact how the election comes out, unless it was a really, really close election, which we hope that's not the case in Georgia, because if it is, then that means Trump didn't do very well when he should have, and we know that's not happening. So anyway, if there's something you know about that, let me know in the comments. Flip this around now as we walk underneath an orange and yellow tree. Leaves, anyways. Something over here making a lot of noise. Oh, look at this tree. Wow, look at that. That's a nice looking tree. Got some nice colors in there. Wow. That is gorgeous. Hi. It's cool. She's riding her bike, listening to heavy metal. Good day for that. Let's see what's making all this noise. Oh, leaf blower. Somebody's leaf blowing. Somebody blowing their leaves. Cars coming. So the other thing I saw was Joe Rogan, very popular podcaster, who does his shows on video and also streams on podcasts, is going to have Donald Trump on, allegedly. And you have to remember that when Joe Rogan wanted to have Alex Jones on, a lot of the left was trying to get Spotify to drop Joe Rogan. And you have to remember, he has at least 11 million people a day listening to him. So he's very well listened to. And Kamala is considering going on Joe Rogan, even though he has really talked some crap about her. So Kamala is getting desperate. She's going on to these shows. She's actually going to be on Bret Baier on Fox News. Fox News is, Bret Baier is no fan of Kamala Harris. He's not a fan of Trump either. But he is going to ask her questions. He's going to play video clips of her talking about sex changes for prisoners and things like that, paid for by taxpayers. He's going to play clips like that and expect her to answer. And unfortunately, the interview is not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded. So I don't know if Fox News is going to treat her well because they hate Trump. Hope not. She is trying to reach the male voter. She wants to she wants to get that voter that doesn't like Trump, that watches Fox News, because a lot of people that love Trump don't watch Fox News anymore. And she's trying to get those voters. She's trying to appeal to male votes. That's why she's thinking about going on Joe Rogan, for the same reason. A lot of 30-year-olds watch Joe Rogan, 30-somethings, and they don't like her. So she wants to try to reach these people, and she's going to places to do interviews now that she didn't want to do, and every time she talks on interviews she does worse and worse because she's terrible. She's just not a good candidate. So, pending some kind of miraculous performance by Kamala on these shows, which I doubt, I don't think she's going to succeed. She might end up... This is very risky for her campaign, putting her on there. But they are desperate. They know they're losing. That is clearly obvious at this point. The Kamala campaign knows that they are underwater, they're not performing well, and they're probably going to lose, or else they would not be shoving her out there on these shows. So keep the faith, okay? Good things are going to happen. Don't get too high, though. So I'll flip this around so you can see this beautiful day. Beautiful Maine fall day. We get that body of water through there with ducks. I know you can't see that, but they're out there. Ooh, there they are. There's the alpacas, finally. Look at them. Look at them. There we go. Hopefully you could see those good enough. I hope. I hope you got to see those okay. I've waited an awful long time to see them damn things, and they're finally out eating the grass. The alpacas, they look like llamas. They're like small llamas. And there they are, running around in their pen finally. Alright, well that makes me happy. I got to see the damn alpacas finally. A rain shower coming in from the southeast, it looked like in the distance. You can see those clouds that look like when they pull the paint down, like that guy that used to paint, like I was telling you. Get off to the side here. See which way the clouds are moving. Clouds are moving. Moving that way, so I might not get wet. I may not get wet. See the clouds right there in the distance have that look like you can pull it down with a paintbrush. So it's raining right there. It looks like it's raining a little bit ahead here, but it's moving away from me. So I should check behind me. There's nothing but blue over here, so I'm probably good. I'm not going to get wet. I don't know if you can see that well enough in the distance there. But you can see how the clouds are pulled down. At least I can with the naked eye. So we got a Trump sign over here. Trump safety. Kamala crime, it says underneath it. Trump is safety, Kamala is crime. So we got Trump voters over here too. Walking down this way. Hi, how are you?
Exercise.
Yeah, me too. I do about 40 miles a week. Somebody out here getting exercise. He said he's out here getting his exercise. That's awesome. That's always good. All right, 4.5 miles. good walk today. Got my heart rate up, sweating because I dressed properly to walk in. You want to dress in something that you're going to be hot while walking, generally speaking. And 11% of the battery. May last for the rest of this walk, maybe not. Maybe turning it off up ahead. So anyway, as you can see, there's some clouds over there pulled down like I was talking about. It's raining over there. Looks like somebody threw out their fish tank. I guess they got tired of keeping track of them. Yes, it's got water in it, but it also looks like there's litter in it, so they might have had some critters. They might have had some critters that died, or they got a new setup or something. Oh, I don't know what happened over here. The Trump flag is gone, and so is the yard sign. The Trump yard sign's gone. I wonder if it got stolinated. The Republican Clement sign is still there. We did have a couple of days of really bad wind. Trump flag that's been there is gone. Yeah, looks like the mount for it is gone too. Yeah, must have got wind damaged. They had that mounted right on the corner of the building. Looks like it broke off. So maybe they just haven't put their Trump sign back out yet. But the flag was on the corner there. A lot of crows today. I'm hearing more crows than I usually hear. Damn things. Scavengers. They're like those Jawas in Star Wars, and just scavengers. Well, about a month from now, we'll be expecting our first snow. That time of year already. It'll be the first snow that doesn't stick. It'll stick on the grass, and you'll see it on trunk lids on cars, but pretty much all of it on the road will melt. And if the sun's out the next day, the snow will melt too. I do remember one year, the first week in November, we got 8 inches of snow. It was after voting day, thankfully. It was in an off year, so there wasn't an election. But can you imagine a blizzard in New England on voting day? I don't think it would affect too much. Not in New England. Further down south in New York. I know that must sound funny to you that lives in North Carolina when I consider New York down south, but it's slightly warmer there. I don't think the snow would hamper elections. It would here, maybe New Hampshire too, but you know, I think Trump's going to win the Electoral College vote for Maine regardless, by a lot. Kamala's going to win the entire state by 5 to 7%. I'd love it if she lost the entire state. That would be so cool. I tried to keep Trump off the ballot here, remember that? That's why I would enjoy that. Had to change batteries. My battery crapped out just as we were getting to the end of the walk. Anyways, we got a lot of cool stuff going on, and I want to thank you for walking with me. We'll walk until the end of this road here. Click like and subscribe, and share the content if you find it shareable. I will be discussing the election and things going on pretty much every walk I go on now between now and the election. So I just hit 5 miles. After the election, the weather is going to be much colder, and I will walk until I can't walk, until it gets too cold or we get too much snow or both. So anyway, it's been a real joy walking on these walks and sharing these experiences with you and all this excitement that we have coming. And like I said, after Trump wins, which I feel he's going to, again, don't count on anything till you have it in your hand. But as it is right now, it's looking really good. And we're just going to have to be vigilant and remember that the Democrats are not going to go quietly in the night when he wins. They're going to raise all kinds of hell. They're going to try to stop the Electoral College. They're going to try to pass legislation as soon as they're sworn in February or January or whatever they do that. They're going to have an emergency session if the Democrats win the House. And they are going to try to pass things like, which I'm sure they have drafted up already. It's ready to go already, trust me, that anybody that is a convicted criminal cannot hold public office. They're probably checking to see if any of their important colleagues are in that category before doing that. So they're going to try to do anything they can to obstruct him being sworn in, which includes he is going to have a sentencing Thanksgiving weekend, November 27th in New York. I'm absolutely certain he's going to sentence him to jail just to be a dick, and we're just going to have to deal with it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, love you guys very much. Thank you for walking with me, and we will walk again soon. So thanks for walking with J.Beau. Thanks for walking with me on this almost daily walking vlog, Walking with J.Beau. And we will see you next time, friends. We can see beautiful trees like this big red one here. So bye-bye. Stay safe. God bless. Protect you and your family. And go vote. Grab people to go vote, for crying out loud. Vote early. Vote often. Vote in person. Crawl, walk, vote. Whatever you got to do. Make sure you vote. Okay? See you later, everybody. Bye-bye. The hot rod across the street.